What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another financial tip of the month from F3 Capital. With you as always, I'm Nathan Fox. I'm a financial advisor and I'm the managing partner of F3 Capital. Today I got a great tip for you. It's on how to retire at any age. Now, before you jump to a conclusion and say, what do you mean any age? It's not possible to retire when you're young. Retirement takes decades. Hear me out. I'm going to share with you the 3 core principles that, if executed efficiently, can help someone retire at any age. Retirement doesn't have to be a pipe dream. It doesn't have to be something that you have to be in your 70s to achieve. Now, some people do retire later and some people do take longer. And so it's important, if you're watching this, to not get so hung up on the past behaviors you've done, but really focus on what you can do to get where you want to be moving forward. So to being able to retire at any age comes down to 3 principles. And I'm going to share with you those 3 principles over the course of the next 5 minutes or so. But first, if you've liked any of our videos and you're enjoying some of the content we're putting out, we would greatly appreciate a like and a subscribe to our channel. That way we know that our education is helping people. Additionally, if you can hang on to the end, I'll provide an offer for everyone watching to take advantage of if they have concerns about retirement. So, what are these 3 core principles? And what is retirement? What does retirement mean? What is the definition of retirement? And for me and my clients, when I sit down with them, I define retirement as the point in time at which one gets to where working is optional. It doesn't mean you can't work. It doesn't mean you won't work. It just means you've done enough right things, or you've executed enough good financial habits in your life to make work optional, right? To not be beholden to any one person for your income. And if you have implemented these 3 core principles, it will be possible. The first principle is cash flow, right? Creating wealth and having wealth flow to you. Most people will know that as a job. The second core principle is accumulation. You've got to accumulate wealth and amass wealth. And then the third principle is distribution. This is living off your wealth and preserving your wealth so that it can last throughout retirement and in perpetuity, in theory. And so the first step of cash flow, in simple terms, this is getting a job, right? I know you're watching this and you're saying, man, this guy's telling me the key to retirement is getting a job. Well, hold on. Let's get a little bit more granular. By getting a job, I mean having a skill set that you can use that perpetuates income to you for as long as you want to work. And so a lot of young people early on, people in their early 20s, will make the mistake of not investing in themselves enough. Before you go on to accumulate wealth and save your money, you first need to make yourself as valuable and as useful as possible in society. This does not have to be reinventing the wheel. It does not have to be, you going in becoming a brain surgeon or a rocket scientist. Although, great fields to go into. We need good people in those careers. But there are a lot of needs in our society that people can fill and serve others with. And the one aspect of personal finance that I've learned about extensively throughout my 1.5-decade career is there's a lot of different ways to be useful in our society. And so if you're able to go out into the marketplace and have the skills that you've developed that get you into the top 1% of your profession. We all get to choose a life's task. Whatever that task is, work to be at the highest level of it so you can be in the 1% of people that do what you do. And if you do that and you keep your career relevant and you're adaptable and you're solving problems for people, you're going to be able to make money for a very long time, and you're going to be very valuable and be able to pivot if things change. If you have a wide variety of skills that can serve, right? If something does happen to your industry, you could quickly change because you've developed the skill set in order to be useful in society. And so having a job, a really good job that you think long-term about, especially at a young age where sometimes we kind of just are happy to just get a job and to make a living, that's great. And you want to try a lot of different things when you're younger, but find something that you can really sink your teeth into and become a true expert on, so that you can provide that value for a very long time and have cash flowing to you, right? We can talk about other ways to develop cash flow. There are certainly many other ways, but your primary ability to earn an income is your best wealth building tool that you're going to have to start off with. So maximize your ability to earn income. If you're able to do that, you can move to the second principle of being able to retire at any age, which is accumulation. This is how it sounds. You want to accumulate money. You could do amazing things on step one or principle one of having a good paying job, but if you spend more than you make, well, you're no better off, right? And so you need to understand how to save, what to save in, reverse engineer your savings goals a bit. Figure out what it takes for you to be completely financially independent. And then you could quickly solve through some basic math of what it takes from a savings perspective to get there. And so I encourage everyone watching this to target 25% savings rates of your monthly gross. And that will put you in a good position to gain momentum behind your money and get to a point where one day you can retire. Now, there are other accelerating forces that can happen with wealth accumulation. This could be like selling a company, going public with a company, getting a windfall from an inheritance. But most people are going to build wealth over time. And if they're able to first maximize their ability to attract wealth, they can then move on to step number two and come up with the best plan to save wealth. And this requires behavioral tactics. A lot of personal finance from an accumulation standpoint comes down to behaviors. And so if you're watching this and you're a few years away from retirement, or you're in retirement, what are you still doing to grow your wealth? Let's say you're 10 years out from retirement, you're watching this, or 5 years. What are you currently doing to grow your wealth every month, every week? Is it simply just putting money to a 401k plan? And if so, how much are you putting to that plan? And should you be putting money to that plan? Should you be spreading it out more? And so having a clinical, well-balanced accumulation plan that you work with a professional on, that you can be held accountable to with good behavior, is going to create wealth through compound interest and through time. And then finally, when you get to a point where you've started to accumulate enough wealth, you can begin to think about the third principle, which is distribution of your wealth. This is where you get to a point where you've accumulated enough wealth where you can begin to analyze how much wealth can I live off of, for how long, and what does my lifestyle look like. And again, this analysis is not overly complex. When I get to having retirement discussions with my clients, we first just, go over what does retirement mean to them? What does their lifestyle look like, right? And how much money do they need to be able to do the things they want to do when they want to do them? Right? Social Security analysis can come into play with this because of the supplemental nature that Social Security plays. But let's say you're younger, because the title of this video is to how to retire at any age. And so you could get to a point where you've accumulated enough wealth in your 30s where you can quote unquote retire. Now, here's the thing. Retirement doesn't mean, quote unquote retirement, doesn't mean you retire necessarily. It doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. Remember, the definition of retirement is the point in time at which work becomes optional because you've accumulated enough. And now, if you're working because you want to, that is very liberating. That is a very good feeling to have because it means you've achieved financial independence. A lot of people that get to this final step of quote unquote retirement, they don't stop working. But if you can get to the point where you're not beholden to any one person because you've acquired skills over your life that make you valuable, that you can always go out there and make money. Number two, you've accumulated enough wealth because behaviorally you've saved enough, you've engaged in the right behaviors that are conducive to financial success. And then third, you actually have a plan that allows you to live off your money and so that you will never run out. Now, living off your money could be done in a number of strategies. Of course, there are financial products that can do it. There are dividends. There are more complex strategies like covered call strategies. There are renewals or dividends from maybe a business you own. Maybe you're getting royalties from a business. But there are so many different ways to distribute your wealth. And so it comes down to making sure that you're developing a plan individually for you, that you're enacting the right behaviors, and you understand that number one, you need to have cash flow, you need to accumulate wealth, and you need to have a distribution plan so that you know that you can't run out. Now, as always, I thank everyone for joining us on this tip of the month. Please, again, if you've liked it, give us a quick like and a subscribe. And the offer that I'm going to give everyone here, in the link below, there's a description in the description, there's a link for a complimentary consultation. And what this consultation will do is we'll walk through all three of these principles and we'll share with you areas in which you can improve. So if your focus is still on accumulation, we'll do a full analysis of what you're currently accumulating, reverse engineer to show you the pace you're on, and then show you how you can improve that. If it's distribution, if you've gotten to a point where you've accumulated enough wealth, you're just not sure if it can last, we'll do a full analysis on how to make it last. And if you're still at the first step, that's okay too. We can share with you some insights at which how to best approach making yourself valuable and how to make good long-term decisions in the careers you're in as well. And so please stay tuned for more financial tips of the month. We look forward to sharing more. Thank you.